In the heart of an African community, there existed a village called Omosia. There lived a man named Okonkwo. He was known for his strength, determination, and fierce will. Okonkwo had risen from nothing to become one of the most respected men in Umofia. His fame was spoken of in distant lands. However, Okonkwo was not born into greatness. His father, Onoka, was a man who loved music, the company of friends, but was known for his laziness and debts. Okonkwo vowed to be nothing like his father. He worked harder than anyone, fought like a lion, built a life of wealth and status. Yet, deep in his heart, Okonkwo carried a fear of being weak, a fear of becoming like his father. One season, a terrible drought struck the land and the crops withered into the fields. The people of the village turned to the gods for help. Okonkwo didn't believe in the rituals. He believed that only hard work could bring success and not the whims of the gods. As the drought persisted, a tragic event took place that would forever change Okonkwo's life. A neighboring village had wronged Okonkwo's clan, and to avoid a war, they sent a boy named Ikemefuna as compensation. Ikemefuna was young, about the age of Okonkwo's son Moye, and he was given into Okonkwo's care. At first, Okonkwo was indifferent to the boy, but as time passed, Ikemefuna began to find his place in Okonkwo's household. He was a bright and resourceful child, and quickly he won Okonkwo's heart and that of his children and wives. Even Okonkwo, who was harsh and demanding, began to see Ikemefuna as a son. The boy brought out the tenderness in Okonkwo that he rarely showed. Ikemefuna became like an older brother to Moye, guiding him in the ways of the world and sharing stories about his homeland. Under Ikemefuna's influence, Moye started to show signs of becoming the strong, capable man that Okonkwo desired him to be. Okonkwo, though proud, kept his affection for Ikemefuna buried deep, for he believed that showing such feelings was a sign of weakness. As time went by, the gods had a different plan. After 3 years, the village elders received a message from the oracle declaring that Ikemefuna must be sacrificed to appease the gods. The elders came to Okonkwo and told him the news. They advised him not to take part in the boy's death, for he had grown close to him. But Okonkwo, ever fearful of appearing weak, insisted on joining the group that would lead Ikemefuna to his fate. As they walked through the forest, Ikemefuna sensed that something was wrong. The men were silent, and the path they took was unfamiliar. Fear began to creep into the heart, but he trusted Okonkwo. whom he had come to see as a father. When the moment came, one of the men struck Ikemefuna, but it was Okonkwo who delivered the fatal blow. The boys cried, "Father, they have killed me," echoed through the trees. But Okonkwo's heart was cold. He believed that by killing Ikemefuna, he is proving his strength. But the axe weighed heavily on Okonkwo's soul. Though he would never admit it, the death of Ikemefuna haunted him. He had killed the boy, not out of duty to the gods, but out of fear. Fear of being seen as weak. In doing so, he has slain a part of himself. Years later came the coming of the colonial masters. The village became divided, some clinging to the old ways and others embracing the new world. Okonkwo stood firm, refusing to bow to the changes that swept through the land. He gathered his fellow warriors and led them to war, determined to protect the tradition at all costs. But the wind of change were too strong. The ties that bound the people began to unravel. One fateful day, Okonkwo took his stand that he would steal his fate. In a moment of rage and frustration, he struck down one of the messengers of the new god, believing that his action would inspire his people to rise up. Instead, his people hesitated. They were no longer the warriors they once were. The seeds of doubt have been sown too deep. Okonkwo realized in the moment that the battle that he fought was not against the strangers, but against time itself. The world he knew was slipping away, and no amount of strength could bring that back. In silence, he followed. Okonkwo knew what he must do. His life had been a fight against weakness, but now he faced the truths that he could not bear. With the same resolve that had driven him all his life, Okonkwo chose the final act. The villagers found him the next morning, hanging from the tree in his compound. The man who feared weakness above all else had met his end, not in battle, but by his own hand. The villagers whispered of his fate, knowing that in taking his life, Okonkwo had committed the greatest sin of all. But in death, as in life, Okonkwo remained a symbol of the complexity of human existence, a warning of the dangers of pride and the inevitability of change. His tale was told for generations, a story of a warrior with a stubborn heart who fought against the tide until it consumed him. And so, the story of Okonkwo and Ikemefuna lived on, a folktale whispered by the fireside, reminding all who heard that even the strongest can fall when they refuse to bend, and that the consequences of our actions can echo through time, leaving a mark on the hearts of those we leave behind. And that, dear listeners, is the tale of Okonkwo, the powerful warrior, adapted from the novel Thanks for a Bat by Chinua Achebe. This story of strength, pride, and the inevitable wind of change has left a lasting impression on Africa and beyond. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to hear our next tale. Thank you for watching